Untitled male.
She's a workaholic by circumstance, not choice.
The telephone's the most convenient way to get to know people.
I enjoy long walks, camping, boating.
I'm a single mother.
There's everybody's on the system, from professionals to perverts.
I'm married.
Intelligent.
I talk to lawyers. I've talked to doctors.
I'm a cross-dresser.
White, non-philandering, unattached, good-looking, heterosexual.
Welcome to Tele-Personals.
I'd say what we've done is we've taken the concept of voicemail, which most people are familiar with in the office, and we've taken it to a bigger extent where we've added more lines and put features on it that wouldn't necessarily work in the workplace, but as far as a dating scene, we think it works pretty well.
For phone dating facts, press 1.
The Tele-Personal system alone fields as many as 25,000 calls a day.
We went through a lot of phone calls before we actually meet. I think I responded to him.
Or was it the other way around? Whatever.
And he asked me if I was very serious. I said, I'm exactly the way I am. I said, you won't be disappointed.
I wasn't looking to start any kind of relationship, but, you know, we became friends and it just developed.
I must have met about 20 people, and they just weren't my type. They sounded good on the phone, and it's just, they exaggerate.
Using your touch-tone keypad, please make your selection at any time.
In a much more licentious era like the 60s, touch and smell might have been the privileged categories. It might be that when you have rubber as an interface for sexual contact, touch and smell become much less important, and something like hearing and seeing, which are senses that operate at a distance, might become much more valued.
For long-term relationships, press 1.
There was a lot of really nice people on there, and you know, you have to just try and decide who you want to meet. And when I met my fiance, she was the one I knew right away.
For casual get-togethers, press 2.
In my ad, basically, I just tried to describe myself as quickly and succinctly and as much as possible. The responses I've gotten have been everything from perverts to some really nice ladies that I'm still seeing.
Alternative lifestyles, press 3.
I run 4 separate boxes. Each one is very specific. One looks for submissives, one looks for dominance, one looks for the combination of them both, and the other one is very explicit into hardcore S&M only. I field approximately 50 calls a day, which is the max the computer can handle.
Why they're connecting, I mean, you know, that's up to them, but, you know, we're just creating the meeting environment.
In Toronto alone, there are more than half a dozen telephone personal ad systems. These include Tele-Personals, Love Lines, and Person to Person, which is operated by the entertainment weekly Now magazine.
I think it's got to do with the availability of the technology, the price of the technology, and the track record of other papers with whom we are in contact, and you know, like the Village Voice, who, you know, found that this was indeed a really successful and important service for their readers.
Outside of, you know, the primary purpose of the system, which is to meet people, what has happened is that it has become an in-home entertainment activity of its own. So besides using it to look for a relationship or a partner, it's just a lot of fun to use, to hang out. And that's the evolution of the system.
And you can play. You can entertain yourself. It's far more entertaining than watching a television. You're having live communication with people. You're learning about people.
I don't have a lot of time to be hanging around bars or socializing, and with the telephone, I mean, with the car phone and such, you can make and receive calls any time or pick up messages.
We're not dealing with hopeless cases. The majority of our members are, they're affluent, they're well educated. They have, as I said, 60% have university degrees, and they're in responsible positions.
The cost of using telephone meeting lines ranges from between 50 cents and $2 per minute, depending on the service. Sometimes you can pay in advance, charge it to a credit card. Other times, it's charged to your phone bill. Now Magazine's person-to-person charges all users, while Tele-Personals is free to women.
I think historically there was a stigma behind personal ads. Now it's not just a personal ad, it's a voice personal ad, and it is the next best thing to an actual one-on-one encounter, because you get to hear the tone of the voice of the person, and that lends a lot of credence to what they're saying.
You get a sense of their personality through their intonation, vocabulary, the sense of how they handle themselves, and yet you can remain utterly anonymous through the voicemail mailbox that allows you to hear somebody's voice without even revealing your own. You have that wonderful, almost voyeuristic position where you can listen without being listened to.
We don't write letters the way we used to. We use the telephone. I think that this kind of voice technology being applied to that personal thing really transforms the possibilities. It gives women in particular a safe, discreet, very private way to come in to check out all kinds of possibilities.
Any medium that can be employed to help people get in contact with each other, how initially alienating it might seem, the judgment can only be made on the ultimate effect.